Good morning, Southern California. I am standing in front of the tunnels to nowhere. This is one of two tunnels, and they're out in the middle of the San Gabriel Mountains, out in the middle of nowhere, roughly about 10 miles from Azusa, an urban population. And you can see the sunrise coming over the San Gabriel Mountains right there. And you're probably wondering, like I did, why are these tunnels out in the middle of a national forest, and how did they get here? Well, it goes back to the Cold War era, where back in the 1950s and 60s. They were concerned that if the Soviet Union attacked the U.S., in particular Los Angeles, with nuclear weapons, it would be very difficult to evacuate the population because there's so few highways that leave the Los Angeles basin area over the transverse mountains. And so they felt they needed more roadways to get out to the Mojave Desert. So this was part of a series of roadways that were going to be built out to the Mojave Desert. It was supposed to be 25 miles long. They got only 4.5 miles, and it took almost 15 years to get to 4.5 miles. The controversy was that they used convict labor to build this roadway, and from detention camps, the sheriff's detention camps that are around the area. That notch does not look very impressive from here, but you can see where the original ridge line was, roughly up in that area there. It's about 250 feet. They had to use a lot of hand labor to dig roadways to get to the top of that ridge, so they eventually could use explosives and heavy equipment to dig down through that. So there was a lot of extensive hand labor used to dig these tunnels. This is the first of the two tunnels. This is the longest. It's over 1,000 feet, and we're going to go inside here. And if you look above me, you can see metal caissons. That only extends about 50 feet into the tunnel, and then you can see that it's just bare rock on the ceiling. And yes, there's nothing to stop rocks from falling. And as you're walking through the tunnel, you can see that there's some pretty big rocks that from time to time fall down. So it's something to think about if you're coming in here, especially with little children. Interestingly, when you get down to about the halfway point of this tunnel, 500 feet into the tunnel, it is so dark that you can't even see your hand in front of your face, even though you can see points of light at each end of the tunnel. It's really creepy. There's water dripping, and it would make a great horror movie in this tunnel. Anyway, I'm always looking for the unique curiosities of the world so that you don't have to. And I found it here, the Tunnel to Nowhere. Happy trails, Joe.